That was awesome. I love that, Pat.
Quite
So cool.
Quite epic.
It's very exactly. It's a nice epic intro. I'm like, wait a second, they're gonna catch me pouring a beer.
Hit the damn ball. Oh, sorry. We're live. I'm getting upset. I'm sorry.
What do you got on the side there?
Well, hit the damn ball, so I'm sure you're guessing what it was. So
It's the Cubs.
I've got the Cubs. I just had lunch. I was at a job right across the street from the ballpark today. I'm like, I should stay here, but I don't think that would have worked out with the missus.
Yeah, you don't want to get in trouble.
No. Hey,
Good old Cubbies.
Pat, so I make sure you did, without Joe and I, you did 1 through 5, right?
Correct. Yeah. So those watching now, obviously, we try to do this every other week. And last week, I was just busy because I had to go back away on a business trip, and the boys were a little busy too. So we just moved it to here. So 3 weeks ago, we did chapters 1 through 5. So now this was long. 6 to 10 was really long for this book.
Joe, I didn't go back and watch Pat's. I'm going to be honest. That's a terrible friend that I am.
Fine, be that way.
Did you? I just there's one thing I had to go back, if you don't mind me.
What's up?
Jimmy and Bud talking in the cafeteria, where he tells him to just rest your mouth for a while, and then do you remember what Bud says after that in the book? I just thought this was great. I wish he had it in the frickin' movie. He's like, well, there's one thing. Well, no, 2 things I want to know. Karen, where are you?
Karen's
in your
enormous
humongous
tits.
of yours.
Yes,
that's right.
I did make mention of that. Where's Karen and her enormous tits? Yep, I made mention of it.
That is hilarious.
God, I'm like, why wasn't that in the freaking movie?
Yeah, no, I did. I forgot. I'm like, wait a second. What did he say? I forgot. Yep, I did make mention of that. How could I not? I mean, come on. Oh, God. Almost Susan Shoop's boobs, please.
If we talk to Leo Rossi again, we're going to have 2 opportunities. I will at Flashback, and then he'll probably be at age 45. We got to see if he's heard of that before.
Yeah, we could tell him and just say, can you just say it for us? We want to hear you say it because we didn't get to hear you say it.
He was extra raunchy in these chapters. Extra raunchy.
Yeah, he was, right?
I liked it though.
A lot more talk. Well, when we get to the chapters, especially the hot tub stuff, there's a couple things, but we'll when we get there, obviously.
Cool, yeah. And we got Ryan in the house. What's up, Ryan? I'm at work, but I'm here. It's raining like a bitch, so my guys are working while I'm in the control. Now that's the way to do it. Working like a boss.
Work smarter, not harder.
That's the way to work, man.
That's right. I always say that I'm constructively. What's that saying? I'm constructively supervising. That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
So you guys made it through the 5 chapters, 6 through 10, right? It was long. It was because you actually there's only, I think, if you do the audio version, I think there's less than an hour left.
Yeah, there's not much. It's about an hour. You're right.
Yeah, these chapters were really, really long. Enjoyable because there are a few things that are slightly different, and the whole. We'll just start because this way. We can discuss it as we go from chapter to chapter. So those that did not see part 1, you can go back and watch it. Where I covered the prologue in chapters 1 through 5. But this, where are my little banner things here? If you did notice later because you guys did the audio, if you look through the book later, the later chapters, there's a few of them that actually do have names. I didn't use them because they're just like very vague, like the harvesting. Or stupid shit like that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just making up my own names. It's more fun. So
I like that. I like that way better.
Yeah, screw him. Fuck Jack Martin.
What an asshole.
That asshole. So we're on 6, which I'm calling Mr. Garrett said it was drugs. Now you'll know where this came from, especially if you've seen the TV cut, the TV version, because this was filmed. So. So we're picking up where, actually, where we left off was pajamas crying and screaming with me. So chapter 6. Mr. Garrett said it was drugs. Oh, it opens up with the scene with Janet where she's talking to Bud. Remember her friend saw him wandering by the shopping bag. By the Lost River Drive-In, and she's like, your friend's a goddamn Martin. I mean, all that stuff pretty much plays out the same.
Yeah.
With the cursing and everything. And, I guess I just fuck up all the time.
He's so good.
And then you see the scene where, the real cool visual scene where Karen parks her little Mustang, and as she's getting out, you see his face in the rearview mirror, which is really cool. That's there.
Got some great detailing.
Yeah, a lot of detail, a lot of dialogue, which is kind of cool. Mr. Garrett he's watching Night of the Living Dead. It plays the same, just like in the movie. And of course, Myers is on the camera, and of course, he's not paying attention because he's reading some like gun book, like gun magazine.
Yeah, Mr. Garrett. Yeah.
While he's watching Night of the Living Dead.
He's living the dream. Now, see, that guy was working smarter, not harder.
Completely oblivious.
Oblivious to what's coming.
He's more like Mr. Garrett, the security guard, maintenance man, telephone man. When we get to that part, it's just like, I'm like, what was this guy like? The jack of, what was he like? Jack of all trades, just not just a freaking security guard.
Yeah, he worked. Yeah, he was like the custodial art guy.
Yeah, it's like a security chief, custodial engineer. He probably
could have been a cop or something. He's like, oh, screw that. I'm going to get paid. I'm going to do more. I'm going to have 3 jobs, and I just can sit around and hang out.
And even later, they were like, oh, Mr. Garrett's going to hear about this. It's like, well, is he the head of the hospital too?
It's like they put a lot on that fat man.
He say better call brackets, boys, which I was like, that's not from the movie.
Yeah, that's not from the movie either. And he did say, well, we'll get to that part too. Yeah, there's another piece of dialogue that was kind of cool. Karen comes in, and the TV scene plays out where she's like, he's like, oh, did you hear what happened? And she said, and she's like trying to get past him. And he's like, about the killings and everything. And he's like, it was drugs, kids on drugs. And that, if you watch the television cut, that scene plays out in the television cut.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, it was? Okay. Sure. Okay. It's drugs.
Yeah. She had barely she was very lightly communicated about it. Like through the radio is what she says, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't care. She just wants to, get her shift done, maybe get laid.
We flash to the cafeteria / like the lounge where they're hanging out, and Bud's actually watching Night of the Living Dead, and he's talking about, oh man, did you see the movie before? And he starts talking about The Thing.
The Thing.
That's right. The Thing. That's right.
And what I did like, which I think was a parallel, is the dialogue. It says, where is it? Like the parallel, The Thing, where Bud is talking about the doctor in The Thing, thinking he can stop it, but it kills him. And soldiers and the soldiers in the end, meaning like, because technically in this movie Loomis dies in this book, so Loomis thinking he can stop it, but he can't. So I kind of got a little parallel there, like thinking he could stop the monster, but he couldn't.
Yeah,
he ended up dying trying. Maybe I read a little bit too much into it, but that's what it sounded like to me.
No, that sounds about right. For sure.
Let's see what else we got here. Scene with Karen and Bud and Jimmy play out the same, where he does start singing Amazing Grace, but he doesn't finish it.
Yeah, it just says Amazing Grace, and then Jimmy tells him to just shut up right there.
Yeah. You want to say, Jimmy, shut up, let him finish.
Why don't you rest your mouth?
Why don't you rest your mouth? It's like, no, let him finish. And then the whole thing, well, come on. Look, it doesn't work out with patients. Nurses, it's a different story. But patients, it never works out.
Yeah.
I think I'd take the nurse in that situation anyways.
Absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
1,000%.
I take any 3 of the nurses that were in the movie.
Oh,
even herself. She was cute. Lori Gifford was
an animal. She was something in 48 hours, like we've talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, she was too mean. She was too mean for me. It's too mean.
You want to be dominated? Like just punch the shit. Just smack me.
Just tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do.
She's a bit more concerned about the whereabouts of people in the book. That's the one thing I made notes about in each of these chapters when she's around, right? She's like, oh, Mr. Garrett's still gone. Where's Janet now? Janet.
Well, and rightly so. That's what, because in the movie she's oblivious, but in the book she's like, dude, where the hell's everybody going?
Janet's like the water cooler rumor girl. What the hell just happened? Oh, my screen just went off. Sorry. Yeah, she's like the water cooler rumor one.
She's almost like a candy striper. Yeah, like they just pass, the one, the cute nurse you just want to sleep with.
Or I'm getting mixed up. You said Karen's obviously Pamela Susan Shoop. I was thinking of Janet.
I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, Janet, not Karen. My bad. See, Jimmy visits Lori like in the movie. Tells her
Get out. Stay gone. Get out.
Yep.
Stay gone.
Miss Alves kicks Jimmy out like in the movie. Jimmy, you got to get out, the whole thing. And then, the whole scene where she's saying, look, we're trying to reach your parents. Dr. Mixer said they were at the same party. They're not home. Then they're not at the party. And the whole thing plays out, with the phone not working and her getting scared. And
it's nothing for you to worry about.
Nothing for you to worry about.
That's right.
Is this still chapter 6 is what we're looking at from that?
I believe so. Yeah, this is still chapter 6.
Oh, it's 7 where she's telling Karen, don't get old. Sorry. I thought it was on 6. I wrote it down wrong.
And Miss Alves sends Janet to tell Mr. Garrett that the phone's not working. And Lori checks the phone once they leave, just like in the movie. And which is kind of cool the way the guy did it in the audio version. Because she was so scared, she had that loud heartbeat, and she was wondering what that noise is, and she's realizing it's her heart racing because she's scared.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
That got me going on the audio YouTube video. I was like, "Oh, what the hell is that?" And all of a sudden, it started really rising.
Yeah, because when I went and re-listened to it again, I was like driving in my truck. I was like, I'm like, did I hit something? I'm like,
somebody slapping the bass, slapping the bass, slapping the bass,
slapping the bass,
slapping the bass. You mentioned, but the one thing that's always funny is like everybody sees Michael on the camera, and then in the movie it cuts to Mr. Garrett pressing the button to open the door, and that's how Karen gets in. Then you see another door open and close, and you just kind of think that's how Michael gets in, but you never really know how he gets in. And here it even mentions, if you remember, it mentions Michael found a way into the building. Still never said how.
Yeah.
So we're just assuming. So that's how he got in, but there was no definitive way he got in. Not that I'm aware of.
I think he just uses boogeyman powers.
That's it, man. He just has one of the production assistants let him in. Hey, let me in.
That's right.
Michael mentions him just walking through the hospital, checking rooms, and he ends up in the pediatric ward. And the scene with Karen and Mrs. Alves plays out, with him in the background and the nursery and
babies and everything.
Yeah. The babies and Mrs. Alves giving her shit. I hate to lose you, but you got to learn to be on time. You're a pain in the ass. Don't care if you got great tits. You still got to show up on time.
I mean, I give her 2 excuses why she should, get a second chance. Two
wonderful chances.
Yeah,
not wrong.
2.
Yeah.
2. Not 1.
Those are key. Oh, hey, what's up, Joseph? Joseph's in the chat. Hey,
those were just perfect too.
And
those were perfect too.
Stunning.
They're lovely.
Yes, absolutely great. Mentions Michael walking to the hospital, ends up in the pediatric. All right, see scene with Janet and Mr. Garrett, where checking, where he's checking he shines the light on the telephone pole to see if there's anything down. The whole scene where he hears the freaking, what the hell do they call it in there? The dumpster, the brand name was like a dumpster. They kept saying.
He said dumpster, right?
Dumpster was the brand. I guess the company that had the dumpster, and so he went and checked it out. It was the cat, the whole 9 yards, all that bullshit. I mean, the only real difference here is it doesn't play. Obviously, it doesn't play out like the television cut.
No.
Which is completely off the wall. If you guys remember the television cut, and but this one is where he goes and he checks. And he does notice stuff missing, and he, like you said, well, one thing I did make note of, which was kind of cool. He tells Janet to have Karen roll up the top on her Mustang. So the top was down, but it was up in the movie. He's like, "Oh, I can see Karen's Mustang. It's going to be a foggy night. You better have her come and put the top up."
Yeah, I didn't even catch that.
I'm a geek.
The whole thing with the walkie-talkie on the ground in this whole thing with Mr. Garrett, that was different, right?
That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah,
had it been filmed. Cool. Yeah. So basically, Mr. Garrett, this is the part. Yeah, like Brett said earlier, where he said, Mr. Garrett, tell him to call Brackett's boys.
Yes,
sorry, police.
I said that out of order.
Yeah, no, whatever. I just wrote it out down in order. That's why, so I can remember, just so I could play it over in what's left of my brain. And this part is cool too. Did you take note of this? When he goes into the storage room, he takes notice of the claw hammer missing.
He sees that it's gone. Yes.
He sees the claw hammer's missing. He's like, "Who's touching my tools?" And this is where I first started thinking, I'm like, "Oh, what is he, like the jack of all trades? He's the It's his tools there that they're fixing and stuff.
That's the way it would that was written, right? I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's like, what is this guy? Is it like the Hatfield Memorial, or is it like the Mr. Garrett Memorial?
Or he's
Is this Garrett Hardware?
Yeah, he's just one of those super possessive, everything belongs to him type deal. Super cop.
So
Everything is mine.
Maybe he owned the hardware store. He's like, somebody took ropes and knives and a mask from my shop.
Perhaps.
Son of a bitch. Now a hammer.
yeah, and later on, it is mentioned that one of the things he did mention that we're missing was the hypodermic needles.
Yeah.
Yes, I have that down here. Yeah.
You ain't got to be the smartest man in the world, but if you see some shit like that, you better leave. Get out.
And then this is different because now, as Mr. Garrett's looking, Michael comes out from behind and hits him and kills him.
Yeah,
and like Brett said, it's not straight on. And like Brett says, he drops the walkie-talkie, and Janet's still talking at it, and Michael comes over and stomps on it.
That's right. That's right.
Man,
what's that? Slasher Fred. Does the book have publicity still from the movie? Because I remember back in the day when movie novelizations, it does. The book does have several photos in it. I'll look through them in a minute because I'm trying to. I think they're just regular photos from it, but I do have the lobby cards from H2. So let me. I haven't looked at them in a while, but yeah, I'm gonna break out the book in a minute. Maybe let's finish this chapter and I'll see what the book. I can actually show you some of the photos.
Did you get the impression with the Janet and Mr. Garrett conversation through the walkie-talkies that like Mr. Garrett, Michael gets him it seemed like it was more instant after they got done talking, where there's a bit more of a gap in the movie. Did you get that impression too?
Oh yeah, it was like instant because and well, in the movie he goes through several doors. Remember, he went through a few of them.
It slowly progresses, but this
right
one's
here,
like
this one's instant. He's just like
after they got
Michael comes
talking.
out from behind, bam, just hits him. And I would like that visual of the walkie-talkie on the floor and hearing Janet calling for him and him stomping it. That would have been cool.
Yeah,
I got the impression the way it was written too. It maybe I gotta listen to it again when that death scene happens in a book, or listen or read it. It's like now Michael knows what happened to his hammer, or now Mr. Garrett knows. I think sorry. Didn't it sound like that? He's like, well, we know what Mr. Garrett knows what happened to his hammer.
Yeah, that was I think that
is that what he kind of said? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think that was actually the end of that was the last line of the chapter. It's like, and Mr. Garrett seems to have found his claw hammer or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, I totally botched it.
Something like that. I didn't. It's not word for word either. It's something to that effect. Later, Joseph, he's watching the NBA playoffs are still going on. I don't follow basketball, so
the Knicks are on, Pat. They're facing Miami, and then you got LeBron and Steph later. Yeah,
that's right. That's gonna be a big game.
Colton, you think we could watch it for a few minutes before you go to bed? The sun's down here. It's all right. Don't worry. I got my headset on. I can't hear you.
So what I'm going to do? So that's actually chapter 6. A couple of differences. Some stuff that was in the television cut of Halloween 2 that wasn't in the theatrical cut, and some stuff that probably would have been cool had they put it to screen.
Yeah.
But I'm going to look real quick for if Slasher Fred's still there. Let me see what. There are a few photos in here.
I like the hybrid cut. The one guy did the hybrid cut of putting the TV footage in there. The thing with the TV footage, though, it's not. They never remastered it to make it anamorphic. It's all. It was all. They put it all as 1.85. It wasn't the full 2.35 anamorphic, which is weird.
Yeah, here's one picture. It's going to be hard to see. I don't know if I get a good light. It's basically him in the back in the Elrod house getting the knife. That photo's in there.
That's cool.
Let's see what else is in here. Not too many. And here you have the dentist, Jeffrey Kramer.
Very
yes.
Nice.
The dentist scene.
We'll be talking about him too in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that. Yeah,
guys. Hey, where's my money?
Where's my money? Yeah. I don't care.
I don't care. It's like I don't give a rat's ass if you get paid or not.
See, it's those little things that stand out, man. It's like a lot of it is like, but some of it's fucking priceless.
I don't know if we talked about. I don't mean to change subject about Loomis. Malcolm McDowell. After we got done with the watch along, his outtakes.
Janet's
Go back
Kill?
And watch those outtakes. They're priceless. Oh yeah, there's Janet's. Yeah.
Whoops, there's Janet's Kill is in there.
His outtakes are the best in that freaking in Halloween. Rob Zombie's Halloween.
He's kind of a dick, but not really. Like
No.
he's like,
Humorous, yeah.
he's a humorous dick.
Humorous dick. I think I've seen that film.
Hey.
Let's see what other one.
Oh, the little guy's right there. I'm sorry. Excuse my language.
Oh God, yeah, my bad.
Oh no, that's me. There was a double. I'm sorry. I'm gonna turn this off. Don't be mad at me now.
No. I'm sorry.
No,
I forgot.
I thought I told you my son can't hear it. I got it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's got the headphones on, so he's okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm sorry.
Oh, surprise finger in the butt.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is the best.
Oh, he's got his Dude Perfect stuff on. God, you imagine if those guys are around when we were kids?
Hey,
Jesus.
Dude Perfect is amazing.
Those guys. If I could get loaded, wait, which one?
This is a great shot.
The little Dude Perfect game.
When she's chasing down the hall. That's a great shot.
It's cool.
That's a cool shot, Pat. I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
one.
That's a great shot.
Tell him that it's an app. I don't know if he has a phone or not, but the Dude Perfect app.
I wonder if he can play it on his iPad.
Yeah, he can. He can.
Yeah.
It's a Dude Perfect app. It's amazing.
Is that
okay?
I play it all the time.
Sure.
We saw them, dude. It was a lot of fun seeing them.
Oh, dude, they're a great show.
Oh, the great Dick Warlock's Firewalk is in there.
Oh, that's iconic.
I think I'm gonna have to drop the money and get that. I got the H2. Well, we'll show it on Sunday. I got the Tots.
This is a cool picture. He almost looks like
you?
King Kong. Well, I guess he's right about to fall. Looks like he's King Kong.
Oh, he does it like King Kong. You got the Tots figure, huh?
Yeah, the H2O one was on sale on Amazon. It was like $130. I was like, oh man.
Very nice.
I think that's it. Those are the pictures that were in here.
Those are cool, Pat. Is that the older book, the original one?
That's the original. Yeah,
goddamn, Pat, yours is in great shape. Do you have more than one copy of that one? Is that where that one's like the better shape one?
No, that's just the one I have. I have this one, and if you look up right next to Joe's head, I have the German version.
The German
Jack Blaster production. As if there wasn't in the book, I would have been so mad.
Jack Blaster, what's up, man? Is there a nude scene in the book? Oh hell yeah! It's actually it's pretty interesting. Albeit Jack Martin was not as graphic as Curtis Richards.
Oh, did I? I don't want to talk about till we get to that scene. Okay, yeah, I made sure I wrote a note down.
Yeah, so that is basically chapter 6 in a nutshell. We'll go to chapter 7, which I'm calling Miss Alves and the News Crew, this would have been a cool scene too.
This wasn't even in the TV version either.
This wasn't in the TV version either.
Brand new.
All right, so you basically have opens up with Mrs. Alves and Karen. Mrs. Alves asking Mr. Garrett where Mr.
Looking
Garrett
for Janet and Garrett, right? Yeah.
Which she should have been doing in the movie. She never even asked where anybody was. She's like, oh well, yeah, well, whatever. Everybody's just disappearing.
She just disappeared herself.
And Karen says, look, I'll go look for them, but she doesn't want Karen to leave her post. Mrs. Alves mentions it appears to be getting darker in the hospital, but this is before the power goes out. Blames it on her age. She says, oh, don't get old, whatever, just everything's getting darker. And Karen hears some voices and says, is there a party going on? Miss Alves goes down to see what it is. It turns out it's the news crew. So everybody remembers from last week that the news people played a much bigger role in the novelization than they did in the movie. In the movie, you just see her for a second saying, get a statement, get the parents' permission. If not, just get a statement anyway. And there's a lovely cameo with Dana Carvey. Yeah. So in this, if you remember last week, that producer actually heads towards the Haddington Memorial because she wants to get the scoop and talk to Lori, and ends up getting killed by Michael. And Michael takes her car and drives it up towards the hospital.
Yeah, instead of rocking. Bastard.
Smart man. Fuck it. Let me kick her ass. And the funny thing is, if you remember, it was 5-speed. So Michael apparently knows how to drive a 5-speed now.
That's why he's a badass. He knows how to drive manual.
Yeah, who's better than him, man? He's like, fuck it, man. Somebody told me how to drive stick in Smith's Grove too, bastard.
Maybe someone around here gave him lessons.
Somebody must have. He must have sent him to driving school.
Yeah, know, we might have to do that walk like at H45 right at that corner, pretending that there's a Halloween Haddonfield Memorial sign. And those kids skipping behind them,
I'll skip my fat ass. I'll skip right behind somebody. Screw it. So she goes down and it's Robert Mundy and the news crew. And they're saying, well, we want to get a scoop, talk to Laurie Strode. And Miss Al was like, nope, it's against the rules. You are not allowed to be here. You got to get going. I'm going to go to security. And then they kept saying, well, didn't Deb set this up? Deb was the producer who got killed. So she never made it there to even talk to anybody.
That's who Deborah was, and he's asking Jimmy if he was new to the industry or something, right?
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, you're in the industry," like talking like like Ted Knight from when he was in the Mary Tyler Moore. That's the only way I can describe it. If you remember how Ted Knight acted in Mary Tyler Moore as the news anchor.
That's hilarious.
Can we talk to Lori? 3 people are dead tonight.
3 people are dead tonight as the result of an escaped mental patient.
That guy had the greatest voice. He's dead,
I'm told
probably,
right? I'm told we're going to stay on the air. Yeah. So as of now, the streets between Chestnut and 10th are jammed with both people and cars. I repeat, Chestnut and 10th just completely jammed with both people and cars.
If Marv Albert would have done that instead, that would have been something.
People
are dead.
Marv would have been too busy getting off. He was getting a BJ. He was too busy.
Oh, yes, that was his big thing.
In my day, it was Howard Cosell. Right now, the streets between 10th and Chestnut are jammed with both people and cars. That's my day.
Uh-oh, what's happened? What happened?
What happened, Brett? What's going on in the game?
He's got a home run in the first row of the bleachers, and the guy's beer fell all over the person next to him.
Oh, that's
Oh my God! We can see the glare.
I'm going to tell you, guys. You come to Chicago, even if you're not a baseball fan, it's an experience going to that place.
I'd love to go. 1060 West Addison.
That's right. You would want to go for the history. That's right.
I want to go just for the history because that was Elwood's home address.
Yeah,
Blues Brothers, 1060 West Addison.
That's awesome.
God.
Oh God! Well, so she kicks the news crew out. No, that's okay. Hey, this is all about having fun, man. We're just hanging out.
Chilling.
So she kicks the news crew out, but this is where this plays into the television cut. Jimmy goes up to Robert Monday and says, because they were saying they said we want to get Laurie Strode's reaction to the fact that Michael Myers has been killed. And Jimmy says, Michael Myers is dead. And he asks Robert Monday, and he says, no, yeah, he was in an accident, and he's long dead. And that's when cop
hit him. He was burned.
He came back. So that's how Jimmy finds out and goes to tell Laurie.
That's right.
Karen sees a shadow.
When Miss Alves was talking to Karen, when she's saying "Don't get old," that was right before this, wasn't it?
Yeah,
because Mrs. Alves was getting all stressed out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this dialogue in here would have been great had they filmed it. Would have been kind of cool.
Oh, hell yeah!
Yeah, it would have made it more interesting. It would have given the characters more, those nurse.
And then you got to remember when Michael leaves the nursery, you see him walk, and in this, it's saying Karen sees a shadow down the corridor and gets up for a better view to see what it was, but it wasn't. It was Michael leaving that area.
Mm-hmm. 3 people.
Mrs. Alves.
Sorry.
Mrs. Alves telling the camera crew they must leave. Robert Monday tells Miss Alves, about Deb. She was supposed to set it up. Where is she? And then
now, where Dr. Mixter wasn't there with this part, right? He shows up again a little bit later.
He shows up again.
So he's still trying to get sober. He's hiding somewhere in his office.
That's what they were saying. At one point, it was Miss Alves or somebody, one of the nurses saying, well, maybe that's where he is. He's somewhere sleeping it off because he was a little stewed.
Because when the power goes out, like when he's talking about the generators, which I think is coming up here, right, in this chapter, he kind of takes a little bit more charge, it seemed, in the book. Am I wrong? Yeah.
No, he did. No, he did. Yeah. And I forgot, during this, Janet does come up while she's telling the news crew to leave. Janet comes up to Miss Alves and said, Mr. Garrett said we should call the police.
Oh.
And she said, why? She said, somebody broke into the storage room. So, and then she got distracted with the news crew and nobody did.
2023, there's cops everywhere. Actually, probably even around that time, there was too. So.
Oh yeah. Then Laurie is, they flashes to her and she's inside her head and she's thinking, I want to get up and lock the door, but there's no lock on the door. And she mentions if she locked it, she'd only let the nurses and Jimmy in if there was a lock. And then
where's Yimmy? Where's Yimmy?
And then Jill, the scene where Jill, actually this is in the TV cut where he goes in and Jill tries to stop him. Says, no, Miss Alves is going to get mad at me. So he's like, no, she's busy because she was down with telling the news crew to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, right.
Get the fuck out of Dodge.
Skedaddle.
Skedaddle. What's the matter? Your shit ain't working? And then
Look at
Jimmy
that.
tells Lori, that Myers is dead. And she said, "How do you know?" He's like, the news crew was down here. He just told me he's dead, burned up in a fire, and he's dead." And this, where she said, "No, he's not dead." And she starts freaking out. And this is in the TV cut, where this is where she gets like a little irate, and he calls for Mixter, and Mixter comes in, and they're going to give her some diazepam to mellow her out.
That's right.
Yep. And this is when the lights go out, which you never see
in the
the damn movie. You just wonder, like, why did it get so dark all of a sudden?
In the TV version, though, obviously, but
yeah. Hold up. Slasher Fred says had a part that was movie novelizations always had a part that was not in the film, like Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, where Harry and Marv escape from police custody to try and revenge on Kevin. But spoiler warning. I never read the novels. Oh yeah, well that's to be expected. That's why I like reading the novelizations, because there's usually more dialogue. There's maybe a little bit more backstory, some different scenes. Especially with this book, some of the scenes that were in here were actually filmed. They just ended up on the cutting room floor. Actually, they ended up in the television cut.
Well, Slasher Fred, we're going to get there with Halloween Ends. If you ever read Halloween Ends, that's a damn good book compared to the movie. So.
Yeah. When we get to ends, much better.
I like it because it allows wiggle room for such finite things. Like the movie is like, this is what happened in the movie. That's it. The book opens up your mind a little bit more. That's what makes it more fun.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more descriptive because it's not visual. You have to visualize it while you're reading it, they have to condense it to usually 90 minutes. And let's face it, you're not going to read this book in 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
So let's see. Well, this is where the lights go out. Lori is where she freaks out, and then the lights go. Then the power finally goes out. Dr. Mission says, "Everybody, just stay still. The
generators will kick on.
The generators should kick on." Lights. Dr. Mixture mentions to stay still. The generator should kick in, and then that's actually how Chapter 7 ends. And that's the scene from the TV cut.
Yes, where they're trying to restrain Lori.
They're trying to hold it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are getting quite interesting.
Things are heating up. They're heating up.
They're heating up, all right.
They're heating up, all right. Just ask Ben Tramer. That shit's heating up. Speaking of Chapter 8, Ben Tramer and the dentist.
That's right.
Ben Tramer and the dentist.
Ben Tramer and the comedian.
Yes.
Ben Tramer and Jeffrey Kramer.
That's right.
So a scene with Loomis. So now we flash to Loomis, Hunt, and the dentist. It pretty much plays out the same. Where Michael Myers is 21 and he looks young. All that dialogue. And then the only real difference is, like I think what Brett mentioned, that the dentist is saying, "Where should I mail my bill to?" To the film. And he's like, "I don't care what you do.
What about my fee, right?
What about my fee? What about my fee? I don't care what you do. You can stick it on your ass."
Send it to the sheriff's department, or who do I send it to? I don't care what.
I don't care what you do with it.
Get out now.
Get out. Get out now. Then we flash to Karen sorting the pills, which is the scene you do see in the movie.
Did the Hunt thing happen already in the hallway there of the dentist, or did you just bring that up and I missed it? I'm sorry.
Well, when they talk, it's basically the whole scene where it says everybody goes
in the
back
TV
out.
in the TV movie.
Yeah, that scene.
TV
That's why I was like, I should have mentioned that. It does play out the same where everybody goes back out. I want to sweep from Chestnut to the bypass, all that stuff. And the one thing he does mention is just like, and when Dr. Loomis says thank you, and in this, actually the TV version, if I remember, he does say, he's like, "Don't thank me, just make sure we stop them." Yeah, just let's.
Andy Brackett, I knew her. I knew the other two too.
Yep.
Yeah,
that all plays out the same. Let's Fred in Child's Play 2. Spoiler warning: the novel includes a backstory about Charles Lee Ray that he was picked on at school and abused by his mother.
Oh well,
interesting.
Poor bastard.
You know what? This is all good fodder, Slasher Fred, because we talked about when we worked through the Halloween novelizations. After we do this,
some other stuff,
right? We were thinking we might just expand this into some of the other ones. And
we don't want to go to Navy SEALs. No offense, Joe. Okay, I have the Navy SEALs book. That's what made me think of it. Sorry,
that movie is so bad. Oh my god, Charlie Sheen and all that.
Next episode, we'll finish this novelization, and then we're going to move to H3. Then we'll do H4. and then from there we jump all the way to
Are we going to do the second, third, fourth versions of Nicholas Krapowski's?
I guess we should just
No
do the
offense if he's watching later.
we should just do the Ultra Deluxe Megatron version, whatever because that has everything in it just to cover all those bases. And then from there, we jump all the way to 2018, Kills, Ends. And then from there, gloves are off. We can do Child's Play 2. We can
the
do
young adult novels we talked about for fun.
That's right. Well, actually, we can do the Kelly O'Rourke novels. We could do the young adult novels. We can even do the Taking Shape books too.
Yeah, I'd like to do those.
Holy shit, Pat!
I'd like to do
Good
those.
idea. The Taking Shape books. Would you like that, Joe?
I think that would be real cool.
Yeah, because do you have them, Joe, or no?
No, I'm planning on buying them.
Oh, yeah, that's the motive. You know what? We do that probably as we get closer to age 45. Wouldn't those be cool to do towards age 45? Then that stuff's fresh on the mind.
What we'll do is I'll go through and see many chapters and how we can plan it so it takes us right up to age 45. Was Ben? Well, obviously he's correcting himself. Ben Tramer was the guy that played Ben Tramer at age 40 or any of the other cons?
No, I don't even know. Oh,
obviously he's in a mask.
That guy has done some private signings, hasn't he? Yeah. No, I don't remember ever seeing him. No.
He might be there. Yeah, why not? Right?
I do.
Even if you don't see him, he's still. How many people are Leatherface and they're signing stuff and never see what their face looks like? Why not? I'll get Ben Tramer's autograph. Why not?
I'll be curious if the opinion for Daryl Kyle's changed because I remember after age 40 that this might have been a one time for him because he didn't enjoy it as much. So we'll see.
Oh, really? That stinks.
Yeah, because I think that's the only time he ever did a show, I think, right?
I never even thought of that. That's actually a good question that Matthew mentioned it. I'm like, I don't even remember. Never even thought to have him at a convention. But if he's there, I'll get his autograph because I love me my Halloween 2 stuff.
I hate getting off topic again. Joe, did you see that? I got that email from Texas Frightmare about how they're doing the lotteries, huh?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's getting real hard, man.
Because you probably didn't pay for VIPs there, or did you?
I never. When I tried, they were sold out like that, and never get good luck with VIP. So I was just like,
What's the lottery for?
The demand for Carpenter at Texas Frightmare at the end of the month is, I guess, really big.
Yes.
Is that first come first serve?
Email that because I went to Texas Frightmare, 2008. I think it was Carpenter's first autograph appearance in years.
Oh wow!
So I went there one day and at the Texas Frightmare. But anyway,
yeah, I think the way it is they're doing whatever they're doing, raffle, whatever they're doing, and if you win, you get a chance to get his signature. Just I
don't know why, because he could go through people pretty quick.
He's not a chatty guy. He's an old curmudgeon. Yeah. He's just like
he just does a JC.
Sign cash. Sign cash. Sign
Pat,
cash.
You met him, right, Pat? You've met him at Monster Mania, didn't you?
No, I didn't. No,
you've never met him yet. Not even at the concerts. Oh wow.
No,
you went to the concert, I think, though, right?
No, I missed it. The one in New York City.
Oh God! I thought he came twice to. I thought he went twice to. He came here for twice.
So, Mr. Carpenter, did you come twice?
Oh wow!
Does the first one really count then?
Yeah,
hopefully you can still get it.
Yeah. If we get lucky and we get a signature either early Friday, because he was only going to be there Saturday and Sunday, but they added Friday. So if there's some way we get lucky and get it, great. But I'm happy with just the photo op. Fuck it. It's the best we can do. Oh, I was actually just about to mention anybody in the chat. Hit us up. Let us know if you're going to be at age 45 because the three of us will be there.
Yeah.
Matthew Har says, I got VIP for age 45. That is one of the things I'm looking forward to the most is the Atkins event. Hanging out at the bar and have a drink with Atkins. I cannot wait for that. Yeah, we're set for that because I left early and didn't get to do it last time. So I'm all for that. And I'm glad that I guess sounds like Sean's going to order a whole bunch of extra glasses because a lot of people didn't get some because they were broke if you heard him on that one video. Yes, he did mention that. I am so psyched for that. Anybody else in the chat or even after, let us know, hit us up. We're going to be there. We're going to be hanging out with there's a lot of people we're going to be meeting up with at age 45 and it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It's going to be a scream. It's going to be a scream. That's right. Where did we leave off? Oh, with Hunt and go Jan with Loomis, and then it. Sorry, yeah, where were we at? Oh, then it flashes to the call buzzer going off, which is basically the same scene in the movie where the buzzer goes off. Karen goes down, goes in there. It's Bud underneath the sheets, and she goes after him, and the whole scene plays out where he tries to talk her into going to the therapy room because he wants to see those ginormous tits of hers.
Wow.
Can't
God,
say I
that
blame him.
part made my, because I started listening to this from the beginning earlier this week, so I was like, when we got to that part, I'm like, oh God, I got to make a note of that and talk about it, even though I missed it.
And because most people would sit there say like, what? Nobody even questions the lights being out or why the power. But if you do remember, Buzz mentions, because she said, well, the lights are out, and Bud mentions the lights go out about twice a week. It's nothing to worry about. So apparently it happened. It wouldn't be an uncommon occurrence.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
So then we flash to the scene at the Myers house. What the number was butchered? Then this is the lake. Where they're all throwing shit. And Hunt's like, everybody knock it off, go home. That whole scene plays out. And the same thing, where the patrolman's like, look, we checked everywhere. He's like, check it again. So that's all stuff there. And the whole
check
story,
it again.
Loomis goes through the whole story of Michael in the upstairs room, killing Judith and all that stuff. And then what happens? Boys come up to Hunt, worried about Ben Tramer. The scene pretty much plays the same, except the one boy asks Mr. Hunt, I'd appreciate if you didn't tell my dad I was at a party.
Yeah, the guys look like they could have been on Weird Science, right?
Yeah.
And that would have been something I would have did, because I grew up in a small town and I knew all the police. I was related to a lot of them. That would be me. Like if I got caught at a party, I'd like, is there any way you can not tell my dad about this? Because at that time, most of the police of that age group had grown up with my father.
Maybe it was Wade's older brother. Fuck off, Wade. He had those big bulgy eyes like Wade.
Fuck off, Wade.
Hey, Bud, when they were looking for the hypothermic needles, was that before the Myers house where they accused Bud of taking them? Was that coming up here? I just have that for chapter 8. Did you put that down in your notes?
I remember that scene. Did I?
Bud probably took them. For some reason, I thought that was funny.
Yes. That I think that's coming up. She's like, oh, Bud probably
it's in chapter 8 here, so okay.
Yeah, actually, it did. It's right below here. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
That's okay. No, that's fine. No. So yeah. So basically, and that scene is actually in the television cut. If you remember, Janet comes up to Karen and starts saying, "You want to hear something really weird?" Mr. Garrett said somebody broke in the storeroom, and he was probably just kidding. It's like, why would the fuck would he kid about something like that? And then he says, well, what she was taking? And she's like, oh, it was some, then she said some stuff was taken. He said, oh, he probably did it himself. Why would he do that? And well, what was taken? Hypodermic needles. And then what does Karen say? Like Brett said, oh, some hypodermic needles were probably Bud. It's like, why would Bud still, is he a junkie?
But does she reply back? Because I know she says in the book here, take a Valium, Janet, calm down.
Yes. Yeah. Janet, why don't you go take a Valium and calm down? And then if you remember the scene, in the TV cut, she's like, you know what it is, listening to Laurie Strode sitting there saying Michael Myers is not dead and that he's coming to get her. And then she's just like, then she turns and says, well, I thought Michael Myers was dead. And she's like, well, he is. And she's like, I gotta go. So if you watch the television cut, that scene is there. Where would the Hunt worried about Ben Tramers? They had the whole scene. Patrolman comes, mentions the break-in at the elementary school. And that's actually how chapter 8 ends. Matthew Horace says, hey, are you guys from Jersey? I'm from Jersey. I'm originally from New Jersey. I work in New Jersey. I live in Pennsylvania right now. And Joe is he's in San Antonio, and Brady below us is in the Windy City.
Yes, suburban Chicago.
Chicago.
We're jerks around here. Like each of our towns have jerks in there.
Oh man.
So that's chapter 8. So
that's chapter 8, right?
That is chapter 8. Yeah, that's how it ends. The break in, and they're going to head over to the elementary school. And chapter 9,
the greatest chapter.
Bud, Karen, and Laurie's dreams.
Yeah, she's missing her friends. It's quite sad.
Yes.
Greatest chapter ever.
Oh.
And shameless, while we're sitting here, anybody make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button, all that happy horse shit. I always forget to mention it. It helps us out.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So chapter 9, Bud, Karen, and Laurie's dreams. So Karen and Bud are in the therapy room. That whole scene starts out. how she starts taking her clothes off by the tub. Mentions, and they get in the tub, and Russ, I think he's going to pork her. Well, unfortunately, he doesn't get the porker because Michael had to fuck with everything and make it too hot. And
It's funny. I liked how they described like him twirling his chest hair.
Yeah, right. And his balls were floating, right? His genitals were floating.
His genitals were floating like on the water or something. The surface
I didn't write that down, but I remember them saying the genitals were floating.
No, I had to write that down. I did write that down, but I have to address.
And some bubbles popped up out of his ass.
No, I'm from northern New Jersey. I'm from Bergen County, and it is absolutely Taylor ham and not pork roll.
Oh fuck! Pat's getting upset here. Oh no!
It's the great debate between northern New Jersey and southern New Jersey whether it's Taylor ham or pork roll. So
that sounds like Chicago with thin crust or deep dish pizza.
Dude, that description, like it was really. You know what bothered me about that? It was they get into all that description, and then I really kind of missed how he got killed. I really missed it. Like it kind of went by fast.
Well, there's one thing in here. Well, yeah, I did mention I had to write that down. It mentions, their bodies together and the rosé of his genitals bobbing on the water. I had to write that down. I got it.
Right, that's what we're saying. Yeah.
The rosé. Yeah, that's right.
I had to write that down. So, well, it does mention a lot of people may not notice this. So obviously the whole scene plays out where it's too hot. It could get cold in here. So Bud goes out, and but in the here he's saying, look, that valve is stuck on 104. It was like seized. So there's no way in hell nobody could turn that. So when he goes in, he sees it's moved. He's like, what the fuck? Who the hell moved this? I couldn't move it. And if most people don't realize, well, he gets choked. But what does he get choked with?
That's what I wrote down. The stethoscope. You don't even know that.
Yeah.
You don't even realize that in the movie.
You don't know that in the movie. But it probably is the stethoscope, right? Because the way he's positioned in the movie.
You just see him going like this in the background.
Yeah, because you don't see it. But and the thing that even before that, when he walks in and he sees her clothes, he notices that the stethoscope is not there. He's like, oh, old lady Alves is going to come after you. You lost the stethoscope again because he didn't see it there. Then, of course, Myers comes in and chokes poor old Bud.
Damn, cock block.
You know what? You know what? Maybe. Oh no, I can't. Somebody's gonna watch this. I'm saying that could be a good slaughtered lamb trivia question if somebody wanted to use it.
Yeah, we'll have to bring that up because especially they're putting that trivia together. Yep. Those that anybody watching this after the fact or anybody in the chat that didn't get VIP tickets, go check out the slaughtered lamb.
They have an extra one. They have
an extra one, and they're going to do trivia. End of June
30th.
And you could win a VIP ticket though. That's $250 right there.
Yeah, and
there were these orange books that my library used to have where they would be focused on classic marches, like the Universal ones. Orange books. I don't remember those. That's pretty cool. My libraries sucked. They didn't have anything good. I don't remember anything like that.
Yeah, Matthew, if you're on Facebook, it's what's it called here? I got it right here. It's a group that we did. Road to Halloween 45 convention with TSL podcast.
I'll drop a link in the chat again.
Shit,
I did it the other night.
Another VIP. I could take somebody with me too. Take my daughter. Shit.
Hey,
shit.
Hey, if you're gonna do that, Joe, we need to get hooked up if we get some special autograph perks.
Mm-hmm.
Morris County. Oh, so he's from Jersey. I'm originally from. If you know Bergen County, I grew up in Edgewater, the town that they filmed Copland in.
And Pat's going to tell you, I get annoyed. I was in Jersey with him over the summer. They got to let you start pumping your own gas. I am not letting that go.
That drives me crazy.
Hey, Pat, say water again.
Water?
Edgewater. I love it.
That's like people that say restaurant, right? In the South, they say restaurant.
They
don't even say restaurant.
The funny thing is, like I said, I probably overpronounce certain things. I don't know. It's just the way I was brought up, water or whatever. But I know my wife doesn't watch this, so I can break her chops. My wife talks just like friggin' Carrie from The King of Queens. Like every R is an A because she lived in Queens for a while because my in-laws were from Queens. So she'd be like, "Can you get me a glass of water?" I'm like, "Water, water,
water."
I'll see you later. I'll see you later. Later. She's like, "Would you shut up and stop breaking my chop?" and my kids break her chops too.
That's like sausage and sausage they got here. You want some sausage?
Or that's like I don't know if you guys had grandparents that instead of saying toilet, they say turlet.
Turlet, yeah. Go use the turlet.
My grandmother used to say turlet. Well, you gotta go to the turlet. Turlet. Toilet. Turlet.
We always had outhouse, even though it was in the house. Go to the outhouse. What the
The
hell?
inside outhouse. That's what
Yeah,
we always had,
the
the inside
inside
outhouse.
outhouse.
So my father always called it. He's like, just go to the inside outhouse.
That's right.
Matthew
Oh,
R,
my
great chat.
God.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks. Subscribe. We're knuckleheads do this shit all the time. And you have a horror channel? Go check it out. But definitely check it out. That's easy to
Yes.
remember. Matthew Horror. Slasher Fred too. I love
Go
checking
look
out
it up for sure.
other channels for sure. It's just always so you meet cool people and this. Oh God, man, this is gonna be. I told my wife already. I said there's gonna be
Promote the
tons of
community.
people at age 45 that we're gonna be meeting up with. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Got to promote the community.
Yeah, it's what it's about. It's not a competition. We all have jobs. This is just for fun. I'm not in a competition with anybody. Fuck that shit. So we left off with Bud's genitals.
Yeah,
They're great. They're great.
Oh no, we found out
bobbing on the water. They were bobbing on the water.
We found out that Michael is a cock block. He's a Charlie Bravo.
Oh, correct. Yes. And he did strangle Bud with her stethoscope. And then, of course, he comes in and the scene plays out where Michael comes up behind Karen and she's talking, thinking Bud's behind there. And it does make mention of like her, because my always think is like, oh God, she's sucking on his fingers, man. He's got to have the nastiest ass, like friggin' straight ass cheek smelling fucking fingers. But it makes note of it like, oh, these dirty fingers, like she must have noticed it or something like that. Then, of course, she turned. But it does make mention, just as he's flipping her around to start choking her, that she does see Bud laying on the ground.
Yeah.
She sees him laying there dead.
Bare ass naked.
Bare ass naked.
He bends her over into the water. I love that.
Right.
Bends her over.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He wasn't thinking of something.
Yeah.
Well, because he in the movie he's just holding like this, and in the novelization he was like this.
That's right.
Giddy up, Karen.
Tastes like copper.
And if you remember in the movie, when he takes her, he just fucking throws her on the floor. And here it says she's half in the water, half out of the water.
He leaves her
imagine
there.
if he started freaking groping her and like,
oh my gosh,
who wouldn't have? I mean, come on.
That'd be more like a Rob Zombie thing.
You see the naked chick? You see the naked chick? She's still warm. She had some nice little titties.
Oh no!
You ever fucked a dead body before?
Oh no! That guy's a chicken fucker. That guy right there. That guy's a chicken.
I don't know about you, but that guy right there looked like he's somehow a chicken fucker. Oh. That guy was the best. I came for me. Wait a second. You say that I would cut your shit, the head off, stick my dick in there. I go,
What?
Hey, that's from Devil's
Jack. We go to buy the chickens. Give me some Rhode Island Reds. That's what I want. I want some Rhode Island Reds.
Oh man!
And then he's sitting there saying to the chicken fuck. He's like, "So you're trying to tell me that I want to buy these chickens? I'm gonna cut their head off, put my dick in their head, and go."
Big Joe Grizzly, man. It's Big Joe Grizzly.
Yeah.
Yep. Big Joe Grizzly.
Foray. That's great.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, we went off a bit of a tangent with the Devil's Rejects. So our apologies. Go check out our stream from last night. We did do a watch along of Rob Zombie's Halloween. That was a lot of fun.
Rob Zombie stuff. Oh God.
And this coming Tuesday, we'll be doing a watch along of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Should be fun.
Halloween dos.
Yeah, so he gets strangled with the stethoscope, and she gets the whole scene plays out the same. But this I forgot. I did write this down. Mentions how dirty his hands are and his fingers when she touched them, and it mentioned that he grazed her nipple. So he did cop a feel. I did write that down.
I guarantee you those hands are dirty, and Rob Zombie's dirtier than his here.
Oh, real?
Oh, hell yeah!
I mean, you have to accidentally. Oh, excuse me. You have to.
Oh. And we flash back to the scene where Mixter and Alvis are holding Lori down and getting ready to give her the shot, which is basically the end part of the TV cut.
Get the shot. Pulp Fiction. Sorry.
Yeah, give it a shot. He's like, hey, the day I bring a pop jumped up big to your house, I'll give it a shot. Really?
What did you Blue Little medical book for? Get the shot.
You gotta get the shot.
You just gotta press it down right. Stab her.
This effed up bitch is Marcellus Wallace's wife. If something happens and she crooks on me, I'm a freaking red spot.
Dude, my buddy sent me that brief YouTube video like 30 times. Get the shot. All right.
Get the shot.
Get the shot.
Oh man.
Get the shot.
I was like, in fact, what the fuck am I doing in the back? He's like, you're the one who's fucking.
Yeah,
like,
you give it a fucking shot.
Roseanne Arquette, they crashed the car, right? What the fuck was that?
She's like, fuck you, and fuck you too. Like,
You know, that would be a good watch along too. It's a longer
I was
movie, but
about to
that'd be
say
so
that.
much
I was
fun.
just about to say.
That'd be
Well, you
good.
figure Rob Zombie, that was 2 hours last night. And if I'm not mistaken, depending on what cut we do of H2, Rob Zombies, I think the unrated director's cut is it's like 2.5 hours.
It's long.
There's a cool. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the supplemental features on Clerks 2, the second Clerks movie.
Oh yeah, movie.
I've seen it, but I don't.
Do you
I didn't see the
remember
features.
Kevin Smith showing the movie to a whole bunch of directors? Do you remember seeing that? Kevin Smith. I don't know if it's at Kevin Smith's house or somewhere, but he had Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino, and Rob Zombie all over at one of their houses, and they're all watching the advanced screening of it and letting Kevin Smith know what they liked and didn't like about it. It was just kind of cool to see all those guys in a room together. That's the cool, unique stuff with these guys. You know, just these guys just intermixing.
Hang out. They just hang out, man.
They're just people. They're just people.
They're just people.
They're fans too.
Yeah.
That's why they did it.
People needing people.
Heck, Robert Rodriguez, when he was at the Comic-Con here, if you got his autograph, you got a ticket to get tacos. He cooked for you too, like he does on his sets.
That's awesome, man.
Anyways, I know we're getting off tangent, but I'm
trying to see where we left off. No,
Perfectly
that's fine. I have no problem. I got all night.
Dude, he made some hell of fajitas, man. He knew what the hell he was doing.
He is from San Antonio, isn't he?
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's from San Antonio.
Okay, so this is what we left off where she got the shot. Then Lori's because now she's like getting doped up. She's thinking about being afraid, and her parents and everyone else always dismissing her for being afraid. She's thinking about this. This is where it all gets fuzzy when she realizes the whole thing about Michael,
right?
Because she's thinking about her grandmother and how they never let her see the grandmother. So now, which grandmother is this? The Strode grandmother or the Myers grandmother? So I don't know if they were alluding to the grandmother. Remember the grandmother from the original novelization, which I doubt, because she would have known all this shit that's going on, but they didn't play that whole narrative in this book. So this whole thing where she's dreaming and remembering Michael, it gets very fuzzy. And I went back and listened to it again and actually read it. She's dreaming, thinking about her friends and parents, thinking how her friends have someone, and she doesn't. And this is weird. It says Linda had Bob and Annie has Tommy.
What?
And not instead of Paul.
Yeah. Boy, what?
Yeah.
That is
weird.
Bizarre.
Yep. She's thinking about them, and then now she's reliving flashback scenes from the first movie because now it's playing over the scenes of the day.
Yeah, Linda
she's thinking,
talking and all that shit.
Yeah, them walking, her and Linda walking in H1, thinking about her phone call with Annie, and Annie spilling all the butter on her, and
the butter.
I forgot my books.
And she's mentioning a boy that she went out with last month, saying she who said that she thinks like a book, because they always said, oh, you're like a bookworm. And she's thinking, nobody believed me, and look what happened, and the only person that could save me was the funny little bald man in the trench coat that saved her.
It's Loomis.
Dr. Loomis.
That's right.
Dr. Loomis.
I didn't catch she said that. Oh, man.
She then realizes that's all gone now.
And then she falls into a deeper sleep, and she falls asleep and dreams she is flying over Hadfield. She sees herself in her English class from H1 talking about fate. That whole scene flashes to Loomis and Hunt at the elementary school now. So while she's dreaming, she's in La La Land. Now we're at the elementary school. So we're back in the movie again.
Yep, we are.
Flashes to Loomis and Hunt at the elementary school. Nurse Marion shows up with the marshal. Scene plays pretty much the same. Why did he send you here?
He was he was kind of a dick to her.
Yeah, he kind of was. Yeah, he wasn't really a dick in the movie, but he was kind of a dick here.
He was a dick to her.
And see, Lori is still in her dream, so that must have been some good shit she got. She's hearing, and now this is where it gets fuzzy, and it's a little strange. It's a little bit more of a play, because you remember in the movie, the mom says, "Oh, I'm not your mother," while she's hanging laundry, something like that, and then you see Michael, and you hear the dripping of the blood. Well, see, you didn't hear it.
The blood.
Yeah.
They hear she's dreaming. She's hearing her father say, "We shouldn't have brought her. He saw her."
Oh, whoa.
Because everybody's always saying the theory is, well, how would he even know who she was because he was so young? But now he said no, and the father kept saying, but he saw her. I didn't want to bring her. So this is odd. This must be the Myers parents because she would have been 2 years old, and then 2 years after he was committed, so she would have been 4 years old when they died, and she was adopted. If my math is right, 2 + 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I told you, and then if she's asking questions, but this is weird. She's asking questions, but if these were the Myers parents, which would only make sense, because why else would they go take her there if they were visiting Michael? But while they're driving, the mother says, "I told you, I'm not your mother." Well, then why would the Strodes be taking her to visit Michael? This is where it gets a little strange. I had to go back.
Yeah,
and do it
there's
again.
a little inconsistency there, right?
Yeah. And she's holding the doll. And this is weird too, because the doll, she's walking in the scene and Michael's there and she's holding a doll.
Yeah.
And the doll's name is Mikey.
What the hell?
Yeah. Weird.
That's weird.
And then it flashes to because she walks in and then she's like showing her dolly, and that's when Michael turns and looks at her, sort of like in the film. And then she wakes up to Jimmy saying, "I don't know you very well, but I'm not going to let anything happen to you." And then she's and you can hear her voice on the pages saying, "I can see it's Jimmy, and he's nice to me, and protect me." But she's in shock, so she's looking, but she can't speak, just like in the movie when she was in like shock.
Yeah.
But she's recognizing that it's Jimmy.
Yeah.
So this is with the whole scene where she's in shock and go get Mixter, that whole thing. So basically she's still hallucinating. And she's wondering if Annie and Linda are in the hospital. Then she remembered that they're dead. So she's upset about that. Then that's when she slips into the shock with her eyes open and all that stuff. And then that's the end of chapter 9. It gets real, like the dream thing with her and the whole backstory of how she's realizing she's related to Myers is very, very convoluted. And I had to go back twice. And then I even opened up the book because it didn't make sense to me. It's like, well, if the one parent's saying, "I'm not your mother," but in theory, the Myers parents are her biological parents, but why they would be the ones taking her? Because they're the ones that would visit Michael, not the Strodes. It's just a little strange.
Yeah, so. I totally missed that. I just kind of I was like, all right, whatever.
It's a little bit on the strange side. So that is chapter 10. I know it's a lot to digest. Now I take myself a hazy IPA while we're doing it.
We need to get a bad motherfucker like Samuel Jackson wallet like this one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, bad motherfucker.
You guys have one of these? These are pretty cool. I think it's from Middle Beyond. I think these came from. Yeah, look at those. Those are pretty cool. I just never used it, but
I just never used them. Yeah,
that's nice.
Chapter 10. We are calling Janet, Young Michael, and Nurse Marion.
Nice.
Look at you.
This, I'm being all fancy schmancy. So chapter 10.
Look at that. Cool.
So Jimmy gets Nurse Jill. She's on the phone, which is weird because this is another part that doesn't make sense. The whole time the phones aren't working, but in here, Jimmy goes up to Jill, and she's on the phone, and he says, "I think you gave her too much diazepam." And Jimmy asks if the phones are working, and she says, "Sort of." Well, either they're working or they're not working.
Yeah,
because she's on the phone with somebody. With very Jack Martin, a little inconsistent on certain things. Jimmy tells her to call Mixter, and she says he's not answering, so he must be sleeping it off. That's the thing where he must be sleeping it off. Jill thinks it's anaphylactic reaction, like you see in the movie. All she needs is adrenaline, but it's got to be approved by either Mixter or Alves. She can't just do it arbitrarily. But she needs authorization. So Janet goes to find him, just like in the movie, where she's running Dr. Mixter. So this is where it gets pretty cool.
Dr. Mixter!
Dr. Mixter! It's Laurie Strode!
Put your pants back on! She's like whispering, like,
stop touching yourself at your desk and come with me now.
You would love to see what I look like in 40 years.
Oh, gosh.
Let's go to the therapy room. We can see Bud's genitals, the rosé of them bobbing.
God, I hope she's there again. Oh man.
Please no.
And if we got to tell Leo Rossi about that scene
Oh, you're damn right.
at age 45. So, how are your genitals? How's your cock?
Oh
Like,
gosh.
what? Sorry, guys. I know. So, and this would have been a good scene. I wish this would have been in the film. So Janet arrives at the security office and calls for Garrett, and there's no answer, and sees that his hat's there. And then she goes and looks. She goes behind, and she's looking at the monitor, and she sees Michael, and she's like, "Who is that? That's not. This guy's really tall. That's not them." So she's seeing Michael walk. That would have been a great visual.
Yeah, they talk about that. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah. So she's saying, she's like, "Who is that? That's not Mixter. That's not Mr. Garrett. That's not Jimmy. This guy." So apparently Michael's very tall in this, and Dick Warlock's very short. So,
Can't be at the KFC. They closed an hour ago.
And she notices that this is good. This is another part that I wish was in there too. She notices the storage room door is wide open, so she goes in. And then she goes into the storage room, and what does she find? You guys remember?
I should know. I failed the test.
We both did. We both.
Well, first she sees Mr. Garrett's flashlight is still lit on the floor, and she goes down to get it, and she sees Mr. Garrett dead on the floor. So she finds Garrett dead in the novelization.
That's right.
And that's when she goes and runs to Mixter. Okay, I think I missed.
That's when she goes. Then she runs screaming to Dr. Mixter's office, and then the scene plays out the same, where she finds them and
Temple needle.
the temple needle. Yep. So that all plays out the same. But that would have been great if the visual of her looking on the camera and seeing Michael walking and like, who is that?
Wait,
That's
doesn't she
anybody.
find Bud too? Bud and Karen, or no? Did I miss that part when she goes to Dr. Mixter's office?
No.
Okay.
No.
For some reason I thought because
the whole scene plays out the same, where she finds Mixter with the needle in his eye, then she gets it in the temple. Flash to Laurie dreaming. She's seeing bars in the windows, wondering why they're there. So now she's dreaming. She's not realizing she's still dreaming, and then she's at Smith's Grove because she's seeing these bars in these windows. She's seen people passing by in white gowns, but she's walking around in her dress saying, "Well, I'm just visiting. These people must live here." She's seeing people talking to themselves, and she's thinking that they're sleepwalking because she's seen the patients. Obviously, she used to go to visit Michael. Why else would she know all this shit? This is weird because she remembers seeing Michael at home when she was younger, before the Strodes adopted her, saying he never sleeps and his bold blue eyes. She remembers.
She remembers some detailed shit.
She's thinking that they are there to help Michael since he can't sleep, mentioning he hasn't been home since she was a little girl. This is all while she's dreaming. She opens the door and sees Michael sitting, staring, like this is the scene you'd see in the movie. She holds her doll up, saying she's thinking, he's looking at the sun too much. Maybe that's why he can't sleep, because he's always looking out the window. And she said the same thing happened to my doll. He's all faded because he's always looking out the window. I always have him looking out the sun.
Mm-hmm.
She says hello to Michael, and Michael turns and looks at her, just like in the movie. Then she hears her mother say, "Why did you fall asleep? We have things to do." Because this is all like wacky shit, like that she's dreaming about, because obviously she's on the drugs, but she's remembering all this backstory, which I don't understand why it took this long for her to remember all this stuff. Flashes to her in shock in the hospital, and she hears and sees everyone. But
hey, we see somebody in the chat room there.
MB, what's up, MB?
Hello, Mary Beth. Hello.
Joseph's better half.
She's stalking.
And then flashes to the scene where Jimmy says, "You know what? I'm going to go look." And then he starts to go look for Alves and Mixter.
Let me play with my friends.
one day I know if we're going to be.
Can I just be with my friends by myself?
I'm waiting for Lisa to get in one of these and say, "Get the fuck off."
Yeah, I'm waiting for my. It's funny. Right before I came on, my wife, my daughter, and and her boyfriend were in the kitchen. They were making brownies or some type of dessert, and so I'm sitting on the couch with my wife and the puppies, and she's just like, "Dad, I just got notification you're supposed to be on in 20 minutes."
Oh damn! Take a hike, bro.
You're supposed. I said, "I know. I'm watching the clock. Thanks, Mom."
He's like, "I told you not to come in here when I'm cleaning my room."
And then see Jill stays at the nurse's station wondering what's going on, and Michael passes on the security monitor behind her, towards her, like he's walking towards the room. Scene where Loomis, Hunt, and Marion are outside with the marshal pretty much plays out the same. You know, where you gotta look for him, I don't know. Me neither, that type of shit. And Marshall takes them off.
Neither do I.
Loomis does offer to give Hunt his lighter back, and he says, "No, you keep it."
Oh, I didn't catch that. Shit, another missed opportunity.
There's a highlighter part, yeah.
Loomis is wondering where or what he can tell Hunt to find Michael, but nothing comes to mind. He's just thinking to himself, Michael's just very single-minded. Only moves when the black spirit moves him, and not before. You can't stop him in the usual way. So, scene with Loomis, Marion, and the marshal in the car play out the same, pretty much. You know, the whole file of Michael Myers. That's his sister. Don't you see what he's trying to do? He killed one sister 15 years. Now he's trying to kill the other. During the sin and this I wrote this down later on because I forgot about that. So while they're in, if you take notice, when they're in the elementary school and they see Sam Hain on the wall on the chalkboard, and he says, in the spring it's called Beltane. So it's Samhain in the so I guess whatever festival they have. I never heard of that before. Beltane.
You're giving seasons to this shit.
Yeah, a little weird. I didn't know that.
The season of the witch, huh?
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. I'm like Beltane. I'm like, I like that. I did not know that. And then basically, you know, the whole scene plays out. Loomis does take the marshal's gun. That's where he gets the second gun. You know, he shoots out the window. Fire warning shot, right?
What do you fellas usually do? Fire warning shot, right?
All right. In his best Scotch voice.
That part, like because when he's talking in the car, you're kind of like, well, we've seen it so many times, like that will wake you up. Like if you're kind of dozing off, like because that just gets loud out of nowhere there.
Yeah, it is loud. Yeah.
The fucking tires screeching. You're like, damn. All right.
Oh, and then the buzzer goes off, and then Jill goes towards the room, and she's about to go in it. This is where the scene is a little bit different because she goes towards it, and then Michael is behind that screen, and then that's when Jimmy comes up and touches her and freaks her out, and they're talking. We got to find Laurie, and then you see a silhouette in the back. This is the same scene, but Michael's not in that room because they're talking about because this is the point where Michael enters Laurie's room and stabs the pillows, and he gets all fucking pissed off. Which in the TV version is great because he gets pissed and starts throwing shit. Like in the movie, he's like robot, nothing happens when he pulls the thing and just leaves. In the TV cut, you can see he's pissed and he starts throwing shit off the top of the bed.
Like,
and that's where chapter 10 leaves off with Michael stabbing the bed, thinking Laurie's there, and she's not.
So we're going to the final act here in a couple of weeks. Okay.
So in 2 weeks we will be doing. I think is there 5 full chapters left? I think there is. Yeah.
I thought there was only 3.
There might be 3.
And the epilogues. I saw Googled it not too long ago.
There'll be chapters 11 through 13 and the epilogue. What's going on?
Neighborino.
So that'll be a quick read because we did go through most of the stuff there.
No, it's gonna be fun.
But that's basically it. There's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of back stuff that you don't really have in the movie, which is you always see in the novelizations. But a lot of cool stuff that probably would have been cool had they filmed it. You know, I think the scene where Michael smashes the walkie-talkie would have been great. You know, the scene with the reporters being there would have been really cool. The visual of Bud's genitals.
The reporter stuff would have been huge. Reporter stuff. That's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't put that in there. That would have been real cool.
I guess unless they're thinking the reporters would have stayed there and hung out, and you got more more villains to worry about, or more people to get killed, I should say.
Yeah, there's a lot of anything that stands out with you guys. Do you think that would have been cool if they put the screen?
Oh no.
I really would have liked to have seen the stethoscope, but I get how they shot it. You couldn't. Yeah, obviously you could tell the way the hands are. He's got to be choking with something, piano wire, rope, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Nah, I mean, pretty much Not really. Not everything. I mean, I like to see Miss Alves the way she died, but we don't get that in either one.
Maybe what's her name finding Dr. Webster,
No,
Janet.
That scene, yeah, where she finds Mr. Garrett and then she's looking at the camera, that would have been awesome. And seeing Michael walking and not realizing like who the hell is that? That would have been a real great visual. That would have been nice if they had put that to screen.
That
nip slip where Michael actually touches Karen's nip would have been nice.
Ooh, that would have been beautiful.
That would have been good.
Can't argue with that.
Just got thrown out at the plate. Jesus.
We can see the game. It's like reflecting off of something.
Oh
You see
yeah,
it,
off
Joe?
of the Myers Loomis 2-pack. I just noticed that.
I'm like,
No
it looks like the game is on between their heads from the 2-pack.
God bless, we're up by 4, so it's fine. It's the Cardinals. It's the big rivalry here. It's like Yankees, Red Sox, Pat. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? That's chapter 6 through 10. So in 2 weeks
suck,
we'll
Colt.
be
You know
back
it too.
here with
Okay. Yes, I know.
What was that?
That was my 8-year-old son saying that they suck.
13 and 14.
Yes, I know. Okay. Yes. Okay. Sorry. He does not like the stuff back here. He is scared of this stuff. I told him it's all pretend. He doesn't understand it, but
All decoration.
Yeah, it's all made by people.
He'll respect it once he realizes what he can do with it down the road. Once I'm dead.
You're not lying.
How much it'll buy later on in life? How much it'll buy him?
Dude,
Even they're saying it's going to be a lot. Don't worry, dude.
Like $1,000 a piece.
No, it'll be more than that by then. Don't do that.
he's
Dude,
really
that
devaluing
poster's
everything.
at least 1,000 itself. Yes.
We're
Give
talking.
him ideas. Give this kid ideas.
Tell him thousands.
Yeah, I don't
and
know.
The
thousands
latest
of dollars.
mask you have, the Halloween Zen mask, is probably
The Halloween Ends mask is $60, Colton. I swear to you.
This is awesome.
He put the mask on once and you said never again, right?
He'd be like, "What's this? $5?" He rips like a Jamie Lee Curtis signature or something. He's like,
Well,
I love it.
something was going on with my nephew. He was somebody was bullying him on his hockey team.
Oh,
So next thing you know, Colton, don't mess with that, buddy. The next thing you know,
oops, remove this. I'm just looking for something. I apologize.
my brother-in-law's coming over to borrow a mask to go fuck with these kids. So
Oh, really?
you can, Colton. It's fine.
That's awesome.
Come on, huh? It's fine. Don't worry. There he
Hey,
is.
buddy.
See?
Hi.
You're in a good mood. See, Taylor's usually the one that's not as shy as you, but that's
Yeah.
I know, buddy. I love you, buddy.
Oh, see,
You're a
I missed
champ.
that. Now my kids want nothing to do with me. It's how much money can you give me?
Yeah, my daughter.
When's dinner? How much can you give me?
10 feet right here next to me, and she doesn't give a damn what I'm doing. She's like, "You gonna go do your dumb thing?" I'm like, "All right, yeah, I guess." So I'm gonna go do.
You'll
Dumb
learn.
thing.
You'll learn.
Those dumb guys.
Yeah.
This was fun though. I'm looking forward to the other ones too. So
Yeah, the H3. So we'll do H3. Well, this since there's not much left of this book, you want to just do it next week? Do you want to do every other? Do you want to do 2 weeks?
let me check my for
Yeah,
next
let me
one.
know. I can do it. I just I tried to do this every 2 weeks to give everybody time to do everything, but there's not much left. We might be able to just knock it off and then give it 2 weeks and start H3.
Yeah.
My
That's
brother
fine.
just
Tegan's
texted
trying to
me.
grab my signed comic. I
Yeah, that's
Joe
my-
knows about that.
Yeah, that's Mike's daughter, his baby. Like, no, put that down there.
Don't touch.
Don't touch. You can look. Don't touch.
It's like in the movie Megan. And when the little girl comes over, he's like, "Oh, no, those are toys, but they're not to play with. They're collectibles."
The collectibles. And, oh, I love that. When she said that, I was like, yeah, that's for the grown-ups right there. Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I love
my
that.
mother-in-law calls the figures dolls. I'm like, stop it. You're not
My wife
Wow.
still does. I'm like, I got a new figure. You got a new doll? It's a figure.
You have to go stay in a hotel now. That's where you got to go. You got to go stay. You don't call my stuffed dolls. Hotel. That's where you go.
Get the fuck out of Dodge.
Get the fuck out of Dodge. Scoot, skedaddle.
Scoot, skedaddle.
I left the back door unlocked.
Oh, that's so good.
What's the guy got to do to get some help up here in this motherfucker?
He really knocked the crap out of that ball. I'm sorry. Sounds like the guy in Major League. He really knocked the crap out of that one. Hit it right in front of his foot.
What's such a good movie?
So what do you think? You'll be able to do it next week, and we'll just knock it off because it's so short. You want to give it another week? I'm fine either way.
Let's go with it next week. We'll get it done, and then maybe take a week break between it.
Then we'll take the week break, and then we'll pick up with H3.
Well, I have an idea. How about this? How about we just make it a small segment of the podcast on Sunday?
Well, I don't know. The podcast always tends to run 2.5 hours. We'll be here for 3+.
Yeah, but if the book is only like an hour left, I mean, we could cover it. It's the ending. We could probably cover it like a 30-minute segment. What do you think?
Yeah, Pat, you could probably separate it like you've been doing on the things. That's actually I don't think it would be that bad, but that's just my opinion.
Well, let's what are you guys doing after this? You either go watch the game because we gotta.
No, I could talk for a little bit here. I'm gonna just track the
let's talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk to Bob.
I'm gonna give him enough.
I will go grab a closing drink.
I give him enough of he can't refuse.
And some shameless plugs for the channel as usual. Be sure to go check out our top 5 movies Rob Zombie should remake. That was a lot of fun, and we just did our watch along of Rob Zombie's Halloween last night. Go check that out. So that's pretty much the newer stuff that's going on. We will be back in
Jeff Daniel Phillips. He checked it out because he liked he checked out my Instagram post. So that was a cool thing.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did. He did.
I need to come see that collection. Which one?
I think it's about mine. I don't know.
He's been to your house.
Change yours up, right?
I'm not done yet. I have a bunch of crap everywhere. This is just like if you pan down below this point, there's shit everywhere. Crap.
You know, I gotta tell you though, Joe. Well, yeah, you guys have known each other probably a little bit longer, but since I've known you, the year plus, to see your collection evolve, it's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's
see where it's come from.
Very fortunate, man. It's been fun, like to just collect and do things. And well, no, I don't want to show you because I'll save it for the podcast. But just having fun, man. Just this stuff is real fun to find. And you bastards turned me on to eBay. You guys suck because it is. I literally just found out like the bidding and all that shit. I literally just discovered that. Okay, and it's addicting as hell. So damn it.
Wait, are you serious? You're just getting into that now, huh?
Dude, I wasn't a big eBay guy. I was always a hands-on, like if I find it in person and, I go and look for things in person. But sometimes these items, man, when you see them on eBay, it just gets so addicting, bro. It's so addicting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Dude, the first thing I bought was a Blair Witch t-shirt when the movie came out in 1999.
No fucking way. It's hard. It's crazy. I know it's like I'm super late to the party, but it's super fun. Like, I can collect without even like, I can go and check it. Like, I'm not stressed out. I need to get to these 10 Walmarts or 10 Targets. I get to just kind of just take it easy right here.
Yeah.
I remember
back in 98, I was buying.
Like we talk about it. Like it's better for buyers than sellers when it comes down to it. Remember us talking about that, Pat?
Yeah. Good
what, eBay? Yeah, eBay is much better for sellers than buyers.
Oh, sellers, you think? Oh, okay, because the 15% thing and okay.
I just know
it's better for buyers because they stand behind. It don't make a difference. Their priority is the buyer, not the seller. The seller is the one that's making them the money. But if you sell stuff on there and it's just put it this way, if there's nothing wrong with it, it comes damaged, or if somebody buys something and you say there's no returns on it, not necessarily because it's broke, they decide they don't want it, then you got to eat all that because they stand behind the buyer. They don't stand behind the seller.
Yeah. And it's cool because especially with all this novelization stuff that we're covering, you look at eBay to try to buy a book, or I'm going to look at eBay to buy the Taking Shapes and all that shit. So it's real cool, man. It's real fun.
Taking Shapes, you could probably go on Amazon.
You could get a much better deal, I would think. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I'll check that. Yeah. Amazon, MB is the Amazon queen. She fucking is on that. Like, that's her shit. I was like, hey, man, we need to get some things. Okay. The next day, it's fucking being delivered. Like, what the?
That's my wife.
What the fuck,
dude? You make sure you put it in your shopping cart or your list, and then if there's a discount, then you'll find out. So,
my wife is like the Amazon. Oh God, every day it's just like I'll see an Amazon. But what'd you buy the puppies now? Well, I bought them this. It's just like I'm like stop. Stop.
Remember Amazon was just
Stop.
books? Remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
It used to be just books. Amazon. Yeah.
I would
When I
buy
was a
my
kid.
DVDs sometimes from Real.com.
Yeah, people. I remember telling my kids that they're like, "Really?" I said, "No." I said, when Amazon started out, it was just an online bookstore. But they were
Oh, yeah.
smart. They evolved the business into what it is. And eBay, I discovered back in '98 when I was still collecting Kiss memorabilia, because back in '98 I had a handful of uh, Halloween stuff that I could find. But then when I discovered eBay and I typed in like Kiss, I was like, typed in Halloween, I was like, I'm like, this is the place to be.
When you first find eBay, there's like, I remember buying a few things that I could never find that I always wanted. That was like that late '90s era. I was like,
Yeah.
oh man,
What
I
is
always
HE
wanted
what's
Bad
HEB?
Taste on Laserdisc, Peter Jackson's Bad Taste, and I got it.
What is HEB delivery?
Oh my God. Okay, so HEB is our grocery store, our big grocery chain. So
Oh,
kind of,
and by you. Okay.
yeah. So we don't even go grocery shopping anymore. She buys it all on the app and they fucking bring it to the
Yeah,
house.
that's like us. We have ShopRite. ShopRite's is
Fuck
the
me.
actually
I hate
ShopRite
it.
and Wise is
All
ours
I
too.
hate
except
it.
for produce, because we're just anal with our produce, because sometimes shit gets picked up and it's not what we care
That's
for.
the thing. Yeah, usually when it comes, like, my wife is really on the kick ordering everything from the supermarket except for produce and meat.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of young kids, they don't know how to do it. And then, usually when you're going through the aisles, it's like a bunch of young kids like staring at their phone. Yeah, the guy wants a banana, so they'll just pick up a banana that looks like somebody fucking stepped on it and stick it in your cart.
The thing
Somebody
is,
put
I
it in
like,
somebody's tailpipe.
oh shit. I
Might have
gotta-
fallen for the banana
I
in the
gotta
tailpipe.
shop in person. Like I like to see what I'm grabbing and put it in the cart. I love the whole experience.
I'm the same way.
Just
You know what?
take the bananas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, take the banana.
Yeah, I like to go shopping myself because plus I could do a faster shopping trip and a much more economical one than my wife.
I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
get the FYE tomorrow. I keep on forgetting, guys. Because tomorrow I'll have more time when I'm in
Oh yeah, if
neck
you're
of the
able to
woods.
pick up that puzzle, hit me up. I'll send you
The
I'll send you
puzzle,
the
and I
bread.
know Joe was looking for the sandals because they had a ton of both of those. I sent you the picture.
Oh yeah.
I didn't send Joe the picture. I sent Pat the picture of the puzzles. So
The chunklers.
Very, very cool. All right, so why don't you guys hang out? We'll chat a little bit. And thanks everybody for watching, either that was in the chat, everybody that chimed in, or after the fact, by all means. Excuse me as I burp. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. Give us a reach around, surprise finger in the butt, all that
Do
fun
it.
stuff.
Subscribe.
Do it
like-
now. Hit the button. Don't cost
Yes.
nothing.
Very
come
nice.
on. Ah.
Do it. Do it. So, and we will be back live on Sunday night,
Yeah.
8 Eastern, 7 Central, for another episode of that horror movie podcast. Next Tuesday, we'll be back for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 watch along, which is going to be very, very interesting.
It's
Hot
gonna be
garbage.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
That'll be crazy shit. So, we're going to call it for a night. We're going to hang out and chat after the fact. But thanks everybody for tuning in, either now, after, comment below, and all that fun stuff. So, check you guys later.
Good night.
See ya.